So the other day I was chatting with my friend catching up on life, and as a person that does not have to work a 9 to 5, the conversation kind of just naturally diverged into his job. For context, I graduated around the same time as this friend of mine, and he's a pretty crack software engineer who did an internship at Google and now has been working at a multi-billion-dollar tech firm for quite a while. And I was like, it must be incredibly tough writing codes manually now with how good AI has become, and probably really tempting to use them internally, right? But his reply is what really caught me off guard. He said he actually has not written a single line of code for a good year. And it's not because he's lazy or is a slow coder. In fact, their company is to the point that if you're not using AI, you are guaranteed to be behind. His whole team, or even the entire company, is now pretty much not coding manually anymore. Terminal commands are probably the most code they write. So everything is to the point that in order to keep up with the efficiency, everyone now has to basically use AI to code, and whoever actually codes manually, you're pretty much slowing everyone down. And also at around the same time, today's sponsor Warp also reached out to me with their huge update as of recent and asked me to try out their app. And I was like, I have a pretty decent amount of shitty codes that I wrote for my side projects here and there, so this will probably give me a pretty good reason to burn my time and truly limit test what their current agentic CLI has to offer. And after me always yapping about how truly revolutionary agentic training has been, even though I don't have a proper environment to use it myself, aka I don't have a job at a tech company to properly experience the agentic coding revolution in the full package, I still got my hands on their latest release, which is called Warp's Oz, to experience the tip of the iceberg. So what Warp does is pretty simple. You get coding agents and now you can put them on the cloud. So instead of burning your CPU, hitting the max threading, cloning your repo 10 times just to have it work in parallel, you can spin up an unbounded amount of agents off literally anywhere. Whether you want it to be interactive in the Warp app or background in the cloud, it'll all be auto-tracked. And it's pretty much a way to increase your productivity, limited only by how well you can utilize them. It even comes with a shareable session link, not that I have any friends or colleagues to code with, so in this case I'll just add my second account in so I can simulate having friends. And when your colleagues or friends starts an Oz agent, you can also monitor its progress on your Oz dashboard or even a web page that is provided when the Oz agent is deployed. So even if your boss got off their laptop and laid down at the beach, but the Oz agent is running on the cloud, you can still access it or even manually take over it if it encounters any problems. You could even fork tasks locally to complete it. But I mean, even after these two nice traits, those are just the functionalities of Oz agent. So what even is its use case? Okay, so there are two main ways to use it. One is using it as an event trigger, the other is using it as a scheduler. So let's say your senior suddenly pinged you on Slack to fix a PR on a Friday night, but you know, you're already a few drinks in with your friends having the best time of your life. So what do you do in this situation? 1. Say sorry to your friends and go home to fix the PR, or 2. Tag Oz agent in the chat instead and have it to take a look for you. And if you say 1, you might actually hit yourself. AI is already on its way to replace anyone anyways, why even bother to ruin a perfect Friday night? So what you should do instead is set up an Oz agent that can handle event triggers, which will be the first line of defense for your sanity when someone do decide to push a change on a Friday. But other than triggering manually on Slack, you can also have it trigger from your GitHub actions or any other webhook, so the moment something fails, the Oz agent can look right into it. And what's also great about this is your workaholic senior can take over the Oz agent if he does decide to apply different changes instead of pinging you again on Slack. On the other hand, the scheduler basically lets Oz agent run at a specific cadence, which is perfect for you to deal with the Scrum Master. As they ask for a summary of literally anything and everything you do, Oz agents can be used to deal with literally anything and everything they ask. What's the sprint velocity versus incident correlation? What's the weekly activity digest? What's the daily anomaly report from logs and metrics? Or is anyone actually blocking you? You can just tell them to talk to your hands, but your hands are basically the Oz agents. And what's even better is that everything will be collected as you schedule, so even though you are forced to deal with daily stand-ups, you can just read off your Oz agent for all the summaries and metrics instead of scrubbing your head to remember everything that happened. What I also figured is a great way to use the scheduler is to periodically help me track AI news and releases. Not only can you really easily make a web app using Warp agent, but Oz schedules can also be super convenient to make that into a reality. But since Oz agent is capable of executing codes, and naturally you need compute and environment, right? Warp provides 2 CPUs with 4GB of RAM for builder tier and 4 CPUs with 8GB of RAM for business plan and custom plan for enterprise. So every instance of Oz would be ran on these specs. As for the environment, Warp agent can automatically build you one using /create environment given the repository. It can self-evaluate what dependencies it needs and creates a Docker image that can be run and reused on the cloud every time. So the entire pipeline line is actually covered by Oz from local to remote. For a quick demo, I'm gonna have Warp to work on 3 things for me at once. The first one is one of the features I have in findmypapers.ai, and when I wrote this scout feature, I made a complicated version and a simple version. So before I do anything, I'm gonna have it to summarize the repository quickly. Then I just wanted to clean up all my codes there. And if you look over to the Oz dashboard, you can see this task is in progress. And here you can also open up another window, and for this one, I want to modify the landing page for my app intuitiveai.academy. I just want a simple display that shows how many users there are on the landing page. And after I entered it, you can look over to the Oz dashboard and you can see now there are 2 tasks running at the same time. And for the third task that I want Warp to do in parallel, I basically wanted to build a GitHub repository that captures the latest AI news parsed from specific websites. And to make it even more simple, it'll just basically update the README file for all the latest news. And you can see now it is setting up a repository from scratch. And in just minutes, it finished up writing all the codes. And to make this repository runnable by an Oz Cloud agent, we first need to create an environment based on this repository. So you just basically do a /create environment, and it'll basically set up the environment for you. That includes setup commands, Docker image, and all sorts of commands that need to get the code running. And you would also need to give Warp agent the access to your repository. This includes pushing commits and creating PRs. And you can also selectively authorize Warp agent to specific repositories. As for the news, I wanted to keep tabs on these few websites, so whenever there are news, that repository basically gets updated. At the same time, I also asked Warp to check if parsing from these websites would work, and it ran for a decent amount of time and basically concluded that XAI's website cannot be parsed. It gave me a few options, but I still chose to remove it for the sake of simplicity. And when the code is now done and tested, we can now use the Oz schedule function to create a schedule agent that runs at every 5 a.m. to collect the news. And you can also input a prompt so that Warp would know what the goal is for that specific scheduled run. You would also need to remember to use the environment you created for that specific repository. So here I basically forgot, so I have to use a different command to basically find the environment ID. And you can list out all the environments, Oz environment list. There's quite a few ones that I forgot to delete, but it's basically the first one here. And you just need to copy that environment ID and insert as a parameter for that scheduled command, and it'll be scheduled. But to make it so you can see the results now, I'll modify it to make it parse every 5 minutes by using Oz schedule update. And to see all your scheduled agents, you can just type Oz schedule list. This will basically give you all the information about the scheduled agents you've made. Then now when we go towards the Oz dashboard and wait a few minutes, you would see there's a new instance being created called schedule run of check for news. And after that run finished, if we go look at the repository that Warp has created and has access to, you can see all the news being recorded down here. It basically got most of the Gemini news. Some others on the other hand probably got blocked. And if you look into the JSON files, these information are all compiled by the scheduled Warp agent. Pretty cool, right? As for my final thoughts, I can imagine Oz Cloud agent contains way more potential than what I displayed here with my immature skills, especially for the miscellaneous things that a day-to-day dev would encounter. In the demos, you probably saw me struggling with the command line, and I think they have their custom hotkeys that I would need even more time to get used to. But overall, I think I like the orchestration panel the most because it compiles literally everything that you do together, both locally, on cloud, and with your teammates. If you want to give it a try, you can check them out using the link down in the description and get an extra 1000 Oz credits. And thank you guys for watching. A big shout out to Spam Madge, Chris LeDoux, Deagan, Robert Zawiasa, Marcelo Ferreria, Poof and Inu, DX Research Group, Alex, Midwest Maker, and many others that support me through Patreon or YouTube. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.